Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, that 40-ish and $100 range, and most of these are way less than that, and a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. And luckily, happily, the Dumont Nitro fragrances have been popping up in the rack stores, which is surprising. Lattafa came in, and it's like, whoa, cool. You kind of started expecting to see an Armaf and the Offnoms like they're coming in, but Nitro? Didn't expect that. So recently, I just picked up Nitro White, and we're going to talk about if this one's hype worthy or not. So like I said, I think that the Dumont Nitro Red was the first one that was hyped up really good. And when I got this, I was able to kind of sample it first because I bought it off of a friend. And I was expecting it to be way up here. And you know, I had this unrealistic expectations, which happen when a fragrance gets really hyped up. Let me explain really quick what I think happens when a fragrance is hyped up. Reviewer, pretty much like, you know, we're kind of passionate about this thing. Any kind of legitimate review, I'm not saying like I'm a big wig legitimate reviewer, but like if you're legitimately into fragrances and you find one that you really, really, really like, then you kind of want to, you might get a little overly excited, like, wow, I finally found one that's like awesome. I spent my money on something that's awesome. I found a little gem, and you like get excited about it, and it might set the bar a little bit too high. So sorry for that if I ever do that. It's just, it feels good when you finally find a fragrance that like hits that mark that you're looking for. So sometimes they can get a little bit overhyped, and I think that might have happened with this one. But it really is a good smelling fragrance. There's no denying that, especially if you like the Invictus DNA. It does have kind of that watermelon take on Invictus. It's not quite as fresh, spicy. It does have fresh spiciness, but it's not quite. If you don't know what Invictus is, I'll just say this real quick. It's a fruity, sweet, synthetic, aquatic, ozonic, small doses of wood in the beginning, and then it turns into a little bit more of a creamy sandalwood, holding on to all that sweetness, aquatic goodness. That's what this is. Performance is great with this thing. Loud projection, long lasting, compliment, super youthful, synthetic, but it never gets real sticky. And that's the beautiful thing about this. Even though it's that sweet and potentially sticky, like sickly sweet, it never kind of hits that point. So that's what makes this very wearable. And I think one of the reasons why it got hyped up so much, because it's inexpensive, it pulls in compliments, it's loud, long lasting, and never gets really offensive. So the newer one, as far as on the hype train, was the Nitro White. And real quick, a quick little thing with this, I bought it from Burlington, right? It was wrapped up in the cellophane and everything, and much to my surprise, it had a fingerprint already on the box, like a scuff mark and a fingerprint. I did not put that on there, I promise you. And when I got the fragrance out of the box, I noticed that this was like a little bit wrinkly and stuff, and it like just kind of looked like it was used a little. I'm like maybe that's just poor quality of putting this on or whatever. But then it was a little dirty in the back, and I didn't do that either. And then I went to spray the thing, and it squirted immediately. And I'm like, what in the world is really going on with this thing? So like, I'm scared now I get the light on my phone, I shine it up to this thing, I'm expecting it to be down here, I'm like shaking it at first, like where is it at? I couldn't tell. You can clearly see the juice. It's opaque. When you shine a light through it, you can see it real good, and it was like right here. So I was like, all right, okay. It passed that test, but I was kind of nervous at first. So what this one is going to do is, I've seen people kind of compare this to the red, and I have to admit that I did see where they were coming from with that. I say that this being a white flanker of that, or white color, I don't know which one came out first, the black, the blue, the green, I don't know which one. I didn't dig that far. But that is an appropriate color for, say that this was the original. I really don't know. I could take 1 minute and look it up, but I didn't. If this was the OG and they came out with a white flanker, it is very appropriate because it does have some of that sweet body of that, but this is more of like a berry sweetness. And along with that berry sweetness, you always hear people talking about that creamy, vanillic, honeyed kind of a tone that happens, and it has all of that. But something that doesn't get mentioned too much, that gets kind of left out, that I pick up with my personal nose, is kind of like an unlit incense stick. Get that and scribble it on top of like some leather, and you get some notes like that. There is a leather note in this, and I clearly smell leather. I clearly smell that unlit incense. Maybe that's the myrrh or something, but I'm getting that on top of that honeyed vanilla berry scent. The more this thing dries down, the more pleasant it actually ends up becoming. It becomes smoother, continues to stay creamy. It's a little bit less berry up top and a little less green, which happens right at the beginning. It doesn't have so much of that, and any bit of sharpness vanishes. And the dry down becomes almost a floral, creamy vanilla honey. Never crosses over into the feminine line. This is borderline unisex, but it is more masculine, and I almost dropped that thing, and I'm not going to edit that out because I've stopped this video like 6 times from trains and dogs and stuff, and I'm over it. So overall, and the performance on it is, it's Nitro Red, loud and long lasting from what I can tell. I haven't given it many full wearings. I haven't been able to clock it through its entirety for the longevity, so I won't be able to do it 100% justice, but I will give it the benefit of the doubt that it is going to be right on par with this one. So it's very wearable. It leans more on the youthful side. I can guarantee this one's going to rake in the compliments. It's a 4-season fragrance in my opinion, but it has a fresher side to it. So I don't think it's like the scent profile doesn't match the winter, but it's sweet and loud enough to cut through some of the cold in my opinion. It's more of a daytime leaning fragrance, and it's got a little bit of a sexiness to it. So all that being said, overall, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I was going to say a 7.5 because the scent profile is a 7. I got to give this more than a half a point because of performance. I can tell already this thing's a great performer. Very, very good performing fragrance. So, is it worth the hype that it has received? I would say yes. I would say it is that good. If you like sweet fragrances, if you're familiar with this one, and you like this one, if you like this one, go ahead and pick this one up. Don't let the honey and the vanilla scare you because it's not like a girly thing. It's not real feminine or anything like that. It's still a masculine, sweet, playful, youthful. Got that berry sweetness. It's a really, really pleasant fragrance. The quality is decent. It's very wearable, loud, long-lasting, inexpensive. So, yeah, I'm glad I picked it up because I'm going to be wearing it. I'll probably wait till it gets a little warmer to springtime and stuff like that and continue to wear my cozy winter fragrances, the cinnamon, woody, vanilla, smoky type things, you know. We got some cold days right here right now in Florida. It's going to probably get some frost on the ground. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, Dumont Nitro White, which one is actually better? By a hair? This one. This one's great. It's like a 7.5. This one's an 8. They're both awesome. Hype worthy. I think this one might be the winner though. So that's my final thoughts on Dumont Nitro White. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always. And until next time.